Would Bitcoin survive this huge power outage, guys? That is the question. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys, wherever you are in the beautiful world, whenever you're watching this video. Welcome to the Bitcoin family channel. For the newcomers, my name is Didi. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the news. Yes, of course, about that massive power outage in Spain, Portugal and south of France. Also about some other news. Then I'm going to dive into the charts to show what Bitcoin is doing and how Bitcoin price is reflecting on all that news. And of course, jumping into an inspirational quote at the end to end the video. And yes, finally again, walking and talking on this beautiful beach here in Phuket, where the energy flows through the sand into my body. Now let's jump into the first part, guys, the news for today. Bam! The first news for today is that one of the Bitcoin OGs woke up with a headache today. A massive headache. And no, it was not a headache because of the power outage. It was a massive headache because he was hacked. And 3,200 Bitcoin were stolen from him. That was a huge hack. The hack costed him 330 million US. Somebody's wallet got hacked and his wallet was robbed of 3,000 plus Bitcoins. $300 million, guys. And the sad part is that those hackers, they knew exactly what they were doing, as those Bitcoins were transferred to multiple decentralized exchanges and exchanged into XMR, Monero. And why Monero? Because Monero is still one of those privacy blockchains that will hide all information about transactions. So there have been rumors that you could be tracking the Monero blockchain if you have this Monero node or something that can hack it. But you know, for the normal people and also for the police and also for all the investigators, they won't be able to trace that Monero anymore. Why? Because Monero uses special stealth addresses, ring signatures and ring CT, guys. So the combination of those three technologies makes Monero still a very private blockchain, which means like on Ethereum, you can go to Etherscan and you can see all the transactions have been done with a certain wallet. In Monero, you can't do that. You can't see that trace. So all your activities on the Monero blockchain stay untraceable, stay unlinkable, and stay pretty private, guys. That is why those hackers were using that Monero blockchain. But still, guys, an OG hacked for 3,000 Bitcoins. Just imagine waking up and discovering you lost 3,000 Bitcoins. You had 300 million US. You thought you were settled for life, and now that is gone. Hopefully that OG has multiple wallets, and if he had multiple wallets, yeah bro, then he was a real OG, guys, because then he had more than 3,000 Bitcoins. Now, that was the first news item. Now the second news item that you're all waiting for, of course, is that massive power outage in Spain, Portugal and the south of France, guys. There was a massive power outage. My family, my brother is living in Spain, my parents-in-law are living in Spain. They all started to text me, Didi, there's a massive power outage, we are all safe. And I was like, how can you text me if you have a massive power outage? So they needed to go to a neighbor that had his Wi-Fi router connected to a solar panel. And that is how he still had internet. The rest of the whole city didn't have internet. But the thing is, the internet provider was also still online, which I don't understand how that can be possible if there is a power outage. But apparently, if there is a power outage, you can still have the Wi-Fi supplier or the internet supplier online. Now, so they could WhatsApp me. The telephone network was done. It was completely gone. They couldn't call me through 4G or 5G. That was completely gone. The symbols on the telephone were like a satellite image. So there was nothing. The only thing they could do is use Wi-Fi. And through that Wi-Fi, they were able to connect to us and tell us, hey, this is happening in Spain. And we were like, that's like impossible. It's a cyber attack. So all the news companies are telling us it's not a cyber attack. It could be a solar flare, they now say us. And that solar flare that made sure that now Portugal, Spain and the south of France were without electricity. The south of France, I think they managed it within 4 or 5 hours and everything was online again. Spain, yesterday night at 12 Spanish time, they were all online again. Portugal, I don't know yet. But a power outage led to a couple of questions, and one of those questions that people started to send me, Didi, do you think your Bitcoins will be safe if there is this massive power outage? Guys, if there is a massive power outage, there is one thing that definitely will be safe, and that is our Bitcoins. Why? Because our Bitcoins are not only decentralized, managed by a bank building. Like in Spain yesterday, my parents-in-law, they couldn't use the banks anymore. The banks were without power. They couldn't go to an ATM to get cash. They couldn't send anything online because the banks were offline. There were no transactions possible. They could still send Bitcoin to me. Why? Because they have their Bitcoins in their hardware wallet or in their software wallet on their telephone. And as long as you still have power or energy in your telephone, which is easily done with solar energy, you just need solar energy and you can charge your telephone. We all have these solar power banks. You just are able to charge your telephone all the time and you will be able to send your Bitcoins. Those Bitcoins are not depending on just Spain or France or Portugal. Those Bitcoins are depending on the complete world. So there needs to be a worldwide power outage to be able to stop the complete Bitcoin network. But as long as there is one Bitcoin miner up and running, we will still be able to transact. Of course, that would not be very safe. It's only one Bitcoin miner is up and running, because then it's very simple to hack that one Bitcoin within those 10 minutes. But you know, if there is a worldwide power outage, I think the only safe play there is diversification of your portfolio. And that diversification, that doesn't include your banks, because your banks will be fucked. We just saw it yesterday in Spain, in Portugal, in France. You couldn't do anything with your bank account. Your fiat currencies were done. If you would have had cash at home, you could still use it. If you would have had gold at home, you could still use it. If you would have had Bitcoin yesterday, you would still have been able to use it in Spain, in Portugal, and in the south of France. Because as long as your iPhone has energy, you will be able to send a little bit of Bitcoin through the Lightning Network or whatever way that you want to send your Bitcoins to another person on this beautiful world, guys. So for me, I'm always diversifying my portfolio, but the safe play for me, thinking towards the future that there will be more power outages, because this one was predicted by unsere Klaus Schwab. Klaus Schwab had a video online already years ago. He said there will be very great criminal power outages because of a huge cyber attacks. And those cyber attacks, die sind wahrscheinlich durch, I don't know how Germans speak, but like something like that. He said there will be cyber attacks, and the cyber attacks will disturb our power network. He probably knows that there is aliens or something that can do like this and the power is gone in the country. I don't know. But the important thing is that I believe that I can use my Bitcoins longer than I will be able to use my bank accounts. And that is why the biggest part of our capital is in Bitcoin. Yes, of course, we have also investments in altcoins. Yes, of course, we also have some Taihuttu in cash. Yes, of course, we also have some gold, you know, even if it's jewelry or whatever it is, it's gold. So yes, we diversify a little bit, but like the biggest part, I'm talking about 80%, is in Bitcoin. And I believe that I will always be able to use the Bitcoin blockchain, as the Bitcoin blockchain is also now already there on satellites. So as long as satellites around the globe keep working and keep maintaining the Bitcoin blockchain, I will be able to use it if I can connect to that satellite. Maybe it's time that I will start to buy a Starlink, Elon Musk Starlink. Maybe that's the way you will always be able to connect to the internet, to your satellites, and always have access to your Bitcoins in any kind of moment, even with a big power outage. Now, there's a very long news item, but I think it's a very big event that I haven't read too much news about yet, which is really strange, as 3 European countries were affected by a huge power outage. Something is up. It's not just like a solar flare, in my opinion. But let me know down below this video, what do you think that the cause is of this huge, massive power outage? Were you living in Spain, Portugal, or the south of France? Let me know down below as well if you could still access your bank account or not, if you were freaking out, if you could still access your Bitcoins. Let me know down below. Let's jump now into the charts. Short but powerful into the charts, guys. The first chart for today, guys. Oh, sip of coffee first. Do check this one, guys. Didi Bam Bam. Didi Bam Bam. Check that project. Educational value for everyone. Also about trading, of course. The first chart for today is this 4-hour chart. And on this 4-hour chart, we can see that we found support on this green line. We wicked down below. We came above it. We're finding support with this candle over there. And we are now above it. So what I drew, those green lines, down, up, down, and then we find support. We should go up again. That is the target. We should create a higher high. And that higher high should be around 96 to 97,000 US dollars. That would be very positive for the Bitcoin price short term. Now, if you look at the weekly, bro, I'm just getting more excited every day. Check how beautiful that weekly chart looks. The hours high broke out over here, guys. We can see that clearly. That's okay. Now I'm going to delete that circle. That's a very good moment. Now we can see also we are fighting that blue line. We need to break that blue line. Mostly one of these candles next to the largest candle will break it. So this was a very large candle. We found resistance. Either this candle or the candle after this will need to break it. This candle will take another 5 days. If in 5 days we go higher than 94,000 and we close above like 95K, we broke that blue line. That means many upward potential. We can see clearly here on the bottom, please see that, I drew it already weeks ago, that we will see a cross. If we see this cross on a weekly, very bullish. We had this one, the hash ribbon flashing, very bullish. I told you when that hash ribbon flashed, I told you here with that arrow, buy. Buy the dip. This has only happened 7 times in the last couple of years, and every time we had a massive run. This massive run is again expected. Are you too late now? No, because we just went up 20K, but we are going to go up another 50 to 60K, in my opinion, very soon, guys. So very interesting charts. Now, if you want to have more insight into the markets, then use this one, guys, BitBo. The link is down below, charts.bitbo.io, and then you need to use my link to get some extra discount. I think it's a question mark, ref is Didi. That's, you can see the whole link down below the video, but this has a shitload of extra charts if you want to understand the markets better. The top in 2018 was 19K, let's say 20K. Now, then we had the top, double top over here, that was around 60K, 66K. Then, listen, if we would continue this trend line, this is the Bitcoin advanced cycle repeat chart. So if we would continue to repeat the 4-year cycle, let's say it like this, then we had that 70K top, we had that 106K top, the next stop should then be 700,000 US dollar. Again, that is not my top. My top is around the 160K, which would be somewhere over there. But if we would repeat the 4-year cycle, the top could even be over there. And then we will have a bear market bottom again here, there at 138K. And then another top over there at 2 million. And then a bear market bottom in 2030, for those people that want to know what is in 2030, that's a bear market bottom of 600K, and then to 2.5 million, and maybe even here to 3.8 million, if we would repeat this. Like, I just love this. Of course, this is all like out of thin air, but like, I just love to look at these charts, guys. That gives me a little bit more. Okay, most people understand these charts. You have the power law rainbow chart, you all saw that one. Even that one is showing a huge upward potential. Like I am saying, we're going to see a bull market top in here around September, October, there. Then those prices would be 160K the blue area, 220K the green area, 300K the yellow area, 400K the orange area, and 500K the red area. That's why I keep saying to you guys, I believe blue or green is the top. And then we will fall back in the bear market bottom in the end of 2026. That's the bear market bottom there. Then the bear market bottom is around 120K following this chart. I believe the bear market bottom could even be something around 60K. That's my opinion. Now, this has a shitload of beautiful charts. You can even add your favorites. So one of the favorites to exit the market to me is the pi cycle top. There is no pi cycle top indication yet, so no moment to exit the market at the moment. Another favorite for me is the short-term hodler MVRV. Look, this is really interesting. We're turning green again, which is very positive. Every time when the short-term hodler turns green, just look at this green area, massive bull market. Here, this green area, massive pump. Green area, massive bull market. We had green, that was the first pump, a little bit red, again green, the second pump, a little bit red, again green, a little bit red, and now again green. I am expecting a pump to 120K in May. All of these charts, yes, with my face in the wrong place, sorry for that again. All of these charts, you can find them on chart.bitbo.io, guys, and use my link. If you want to look at many others, Puel multiple, very important one to determine if the top is in. Look, we are here. We are at 1.7. The tops mostly are in here at these levels. 3.2. Here, 5. We still need to go way higher in the Bitcoin price for me to be able to call a top, guys. This is not a top yet. Do I have anything else? Halving spiral, a beautiful halving spiral that we always use. Look, we are not near a top. We are not near a top. The tops have always been, every halving spiral has a different layout, just please be aware. A rational root uses a little bit different layout, but the tops have always been somewhere in this segment over there. And we still need to go to this segment. We are not there yet. Okay, now, many cool charts. Let's jump into a few other charts to show you those, and then into the next part of the video. The first one that I want to show you is this one. This one is also the balance on the exchanges, and the balance on the exchanges is lower than the 2019 bear market, guys. This is really low. It can't get lower almost than that. It's like almost below 2.6 million. I think we are at like 1.9 million. I don't know the exact balance, but you can see that the BTC balance on exchanges is dropping tremendously. Why is there more and more Bitcoins leaving the exchanges? Because people want to have self-custody. They want to hodl their Bitcoins in their own wallets, not on exchanges. Nobody is selling the Bitcoins. They are moving the Bitcoins from the exchange into self-custody. And why? Yeah, we talked about that, for example, previously in the news. You know, in self-custody, if there is a power outage, you still have your Bitcoins. You can use them. If they are on exchange, and that exchange main office should or would be in an affected area where the power outage is, then I don't know if the exchange still is operating. So that's why people take the Bitcoins off the exchanges. Like you take your money out of the bank, you also take your Bitcoins out of the exchanges, okay? Let that be very clear. Now, this chart is also a chart on Bitbo, but a very interesting one that I want to share with you. And I have shared it before, but I just want to remind you to how important this is. Because if you look at this, then you can see whenever this blue line, that's a simple moving average, a 200 weekly simple moving average, crosses that dotted line, and then you draw the line up to the top, that's the top moment. So when the blue line crosses the previous all-time high, this is the line of the previous all-time high, that is the moment that the top is in. When the blue line crossed that previous all-time high over there, that is the moment that the top was in. When this blue line will cross that previous all-time high, that is when the top is in. It hasn't crossed it yet. There's still a lot of potential upwards. So for me, the top 160K still in play. Here you can see the difference between log scale and linear scale, because a lot of people ask me, what's the difference? This is the difference. The difference is it looks completely different. It looks completely different, yeah. That's the difference. I can't make anything out of it. Look, linear scale looks like we are in a continuously bull market. Like we're only going up, 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 up. You see, it's like huge peaks. But if you look at the log scale, it's a little bit more balanced chart. So you can see, yes, we will go up, we come down, we will slowly go up, we will come 12 months down, we will again 36 months go up, then we come 12 months down again, then again 36 months up, then again 12 months down, then again 36 months up, ending somewhere in the end of 2025, guys. So beautiful charts, log and linear, now you know the difference. That were all the charts for today, guys, and let's jump into the next part. Bam. I hope you really enjoyed the charts, guys. Yes, short term, not beautiful volatility again. My algorithms make money for me while I'm sleeping. Yesterday, not only sleeping, yesterday was a jiggy night as well. So yes, when I was doing that, my bots were making money for me, guys. And money, I'm talking about Bitcoin, of course, and USDT at the moment. Now, long term, my vision still the same, guys. Long term, my vision even becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. We will see 120k in May, and that we will see 160k at the end of this bull market top, somewhere towards September, October, guys. That's an amazing moment to end the bull market. But the bull market has not been finished. And this power outage again showed us all the power of Bitcoin. We could still do whatever we would in Spain, Portugal, or France with our Bitcoins. We didn't need the bank, we didn't depend on the bank, we didn't depend on any centralized financial institute to manage our money because we were Bitcoiners. We were able to transact. So that's the most important lesson. The charts, beautiful 95k, long term, guys, beautiful bull market still in play. So yes, guys, long term, I still have that same vision. Bull market up, September, October. I need to keep watching here. There's a lot of rocks. They made the beach a little bit shorter so that the boats can now go through this path. We were able to cross this one to the island, but now they made it a little bit wider, I think, so that the boats, also a little bit bigger boats, can go into this small marina over there. But guys, that were the charts. Let's now jump into the inspirational quote. Bam! Today's inspirational quote is a classic one, guys, a classic one that a lot of people talk about, but I think most people don't really understand it. They're always saying you need to live in the moment, you know, carpe diem, live in the moment. What does that mean? Living in the moment is very simple. It means that you forget about the past and that you stop waiting for the future and you start enjoying this exact moment. Too many people are always inside of their head in the past. What happened to them in the past? What they experienced in the past? How the past changed their lives? Stop thinking about the past. Forget the past. You can't change the past. And the moment they don't think about the past, they are thinking or planning about the future. What shall I do? Where do I go on a holiday? What shall I do tomorrow? What clothes do I wear tomorrow? What do I need to prepare for my meeting? Everything is about the future. So when you're doing either of those, planning for the future or thinking about the future, or thinking about the past or falling back to the past, in both of those moments, you're not living in the moment. You're living in the moment when you really realize what you're doing at that moment, when you're enjoying exactly what you're doing at that moment, and you don't think about the past or the future. You're enjoying that moment. That is what it means to live in the moment. And I think it's a very important one because mostly people forget this. A lot of people just never live in the moment. They are always living in the past, you know, telling their friends about their memories, telling their friends how good it used to be, telling their friends about, oh, you know, a long time ago, it was still like this. Past. You can't change that. Why are you talking about that? If you're having a conversation with your friend today, then focus on that conversation today or what is happening to you today, of your feelings of today, not your feelings of the past, not your memories that we can't change anymore. You should be talking and discussing everything you feel today. That is what is important. And not what is going to be happening in the future. Yes, maybe you can tell them, hey, in 3 months I will go on a 2-week holiday to Thailand. Yeah, that's beautiful. And then you can talk what you think about Thailand today. Not what you expect of it in the future, because you don't know. What do you think today? What do you think about Thailand? Well, why do you go to Thailand? What is the Thai culture like? All of those things that you can really have a conversation about with that person at the moment. Those are the important things. And then you get a beautiful conversation in the moment. Then you're living in this moment. You're not living in the future, you're not living in the past. You should be living in the moment, guys. I hope that's a little bit clear. It's even difficult for me what it means to be living in the moment. Because at this moment, I am discussing the past. I talked about the news that was yesterday. In this moment, I talked about the charts. That was now the moment, that was the current charts. And on this moment, I'm also talking about the future, about your future, how you can use these inspirational quotes to live maybe a better future. So it's not always simple to live in the moment, and I also need to focus on that because it doesn't always happen automatically. Sometimes I just go to the beach, walk on the beach, enjoy all the feelings, the sounds, everything else that I hear on that moment. And then during that walk, the 10 to 15 minute walk, that is the moment I also start to be grateful for everything that's happening to me today. And that is for me the moment for manifestation, meditation, however you call it. For me, that moment, walking on the beach, listening to the sounds, being grateful for being able to walk on the beach, listening to the sounds, being able to connect my feet to the sand, being able to witness beautiful fly fish, whatever it is, that is the moment I really live in that moment. So it's very important to me that I incubate that each and every day into my life. Just 15 minutes, living really hardcore in the moment, really feeling what you feel, really hearing what you hear, really smelling what you smell, not thinking about the past, forget the past, not thinking about the future, just enjoying exactly that moment that you just experienced. Try that whenever you can. I think it's a very helpful tool to become a little bit more happy in life, guys. Now, that was everything for today. I hope you really enjoyed this long video. If you did enjoy the long video, give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. What do you think about the news, the power outage? Let me know down below what you think it was. What do you think about the charts? What do you think about living in the moment? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching. I wish you an amazing Tuesday, I think it is. Yeah, it's Tuesday. I'll see you tomorrow again. Bam.